Hello there and welcome to the video, and today I'm going to talk to you about how to repot an unruly Monstera deliciosa, otherwise known as a Swiss cheese plant. And if you stay to the end of the video, I will have 5, yes 5, unusual facts that you probably didn't know about this wonderful plant. Okay then everybody, so this is one of our established Monsteras. It's got a lovely kind of compact growth, and the reason for that is because I've been growing this outside in a shady area because I don't really want to be in full sun because they can scorch, especially when the leaves are younger. When the leaves are young, you know, prone to scorching. When they're big, mature, they'll take a lot more sun because it's a climbing plant. So this is quite nice and stocky. However, we're going to plant this particular specimen just here, which you can see.
Look at those roots. Yeah, those aerial roots are amazing, aren't they?
They are fantastic. Do you know what these roots are for?
Climb around on vines or hanging onto trees.
That's absolutely right, yeah.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, they are advantageous roots, which is roots that come out of non-root plant material. Yeah. And they use those to support themselves into a tree. Yeah. Anyway, this poor little thing is in quite a small pot. Yeah. And because of that, it can't support itself. So I need to pot this on. Yep. So I've chosen quite a nice bucket. Now I know and appreciate that I've got quite a nice pot for this one, and this one I'm doing a bit of an old bucket, but the reason for that is because we'll be keeping these plants outside in the borders. I not really want to see the pot, so being black in the border won't see it so much. Also would give these plants a little bit of height. Yep. But that's just what we're doing. You can do what you want with them. Anyway, so let's have a look. Because of the large holes in this pot, first of all filled it with gravel for drainage. But also prevents soil from being washed out the holes in the pot when you water it. So if you're using a pot with a saucer, you probably don't need to worry about that too much. But if you're using it outside, then you need to put the gravel in to stop the soil being washed out when you water it. Otherwise you get those soil markings and dirt on the ground. I don't want to see that. Anyway, so gravel in the pot. Pot off. You see it's a very thick set of root in there.
Oh, that's lovely, isn't it?
Because it really wants to grow, that's the thing. I'm going to check the size. I want to try and have the new soil height at the same level as this existing soil height, so I'm just going to raise the soil level in this pot. Right. And these aerial roots, I'm just going to put them into the pot because they work as roots as well as supporting structures. Right. Now you notice this, they kind of produce like a spine. It's like a backbone of the plant. And you know, without support it's just going to flop. So I'm going to put some support in this. So just before that, you see how I've tipped here, tipped the root ball to its side. Yep. Well, I'm going to have to do that in order to get a straight line on this spine. Yep. So doing this is absolutely fine. Don't worry about that. You don't have to keep it at the same angle. Yep.
It's just fallen over because it just wasn't supported. So
yeah.
Started to grow that way.
Right.
Okay.
Okay, so this is just a general multi-purpose compost. So it's fresh out of the bag, which means it's sterilised. And because it's all a mess of roots in there, I don't want to force my hand into it. So what I'm doing is I'm shaking it into place and gently firming it. And that's all I'm going to do. Right, and now we've got to deal with this spine and keeping it upright. Quite simply, you can use a stake. Now, if you're using this as a house plant, then you could use a far more attractive stake, you know, like a moss pole. Moss poles are great, but this is going outside. The moss pole is a bit unnecessary, so we're just going to get that shoved in there. And then standard old tree tie, because we've got 2 stems here, and I want it to look like one mature plant. Well, it is one mature plant, it's just got 2 stems. Let's pull that in place. Right, so I've kept this quite loose.
Yep.
It's just to hold it upright, it's not trying to maintain the solid root for you. And there you go, there you go. I will take off this this yellow leaf because that's unattractive. I'll keep tidy and tuck these aerial roots in. And really, apart from giving that a water, that's job done.
It's amazing.
I mean, it's not as attractive or as compact as this one because it's been grown indoors, so it's stretched out. Yeah. But in time, once I start bringing this hardiness off and bringing it outside for the growing period, it'll thicken up and actually be a really lovely plant. And because this will be going into our main borders, we'll be popping in and having a look at this as the year continues. Anyway, let me go to my 5 interesting facts about this wonderful plant. Right, fact 1, its name, Monstera deliciosa. The Monstera part is from monster because of the monstrous size of these leaves. They can grow almost up to 1 metre wide. The deliciosa part is due to the fruit.
Really?
Fact 2, the fruit of the Monstera, although you won't get any fruit produced if you're growing this as a house plant, but outside you can, and the fruits of this plant are edible. Fact 3, why do these have holes in the leaves? Well, this is because when you have a leaf almost 1 metre wide and you have it on a plant that's maybe 50 foot high and you have a storm, a big leaf like that will get shredded to bits and then won't work effectively as a leaf. So the reason why they have these big holes in is so that air, wind and all that can pass through it without ruining the leaf. Right, fact number 4, this plant is a climbing plant. So you'll see this growing up trees, growing up the sides of cliff, absolutely enormous. How does it climb up those and hold onto these cliffs? Aerial roots. These look a bit weird, but this is what they latch on to. Its
like
tree.
legs.
Yeah, like legs, and they grab onto it, and that's how they support themselves. 5, even though this is from Mexico, this is a surprisingly hardy. This is a surprisingly hardy plant. It has an RHS medal, and it also is able to grow outside temperatures down to -1, only for a short period of time. And that's why, anecdotally, you see a lot of these now growing outside all year round in London.
Fabulous.
Okay, so those are my 5 facts, interesting facts about this fantastic plant, and also that is how you pot on an unruly Swiss cheese plant. So, thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like and share, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you and goodbye.